to growth. Let's talk about that. G for growth. How we can become obsessed with it. Or how we forget about it, forget to track it, all the things. And it really has me wondering why we do witchcraft, why we are invested in spirituality, why do we do all these things in the first place? And it's for personal growth. We want to push forward in our lives. We want to be something more than just as we are. We want to improve, seek out, do the next thing, just to gain experiences, just to see if we can grow for growth's sake alone. I have been so committed to growth this year in such a weird way, where before it was always something that was a chore. It was something I had to do, something I think everyone feels they have to do. It's one of those things where people are just like, oh yeah, I should do that. I should be working on this or that or fixing. But we're all kind of obsessed with it, even if you aren't trying to push yourself all the time, right? Like, we're always kind of wondering, am I good enough? Did I do that good enough? Is that enough? Is that enough? Am I always enough? And it can be a hard dichotomy at times to sit and look at yourself and at one moment be like, yeah, I'm striving for more, recognizing you are enough. You don't need to push forward possibly as hard as you think you do. And that these two thoughts can exist at the same time. I can be perfectly content with where I am now and also be striving for more. Just because I want more doesn't mean I'm not appreciative of where I am now. I'm not sitting here going, oh, I hate my life now entirely. There's like nothing about it that I like, which is why I'm trying to improve every aspect. No, I like where I am. But that doesn't mean I'm going to settle for where I am. Just because something good is happening doesn't mean that something better isn't around the corner, or that you can't grow and find something entirely new you've never experienced before just because there's something good here now. And that's not the flavor of life. Life is multi-seasoned. Like, there's stuff everywhere in it. It's not supposed to be a one and done type of thing. It's not supposed to be a, oh, I did it, I reached the next thing, I got to the end of my growth streak and now I'm here. Like, it's a continual growth. And I think I've now adapted growth as part of my personality. I want to be someone who's always growing, always striving for growth, always looking for self-improvement, always looking for spiritual growth. And knowing that it's not because I'm racing to the next thing, it's just that something that interests me. And that's okay. And then I can also look at myself and go, yeah, no, I'm fine the way I am now. And I'm also looking for something better at the same time. Like, those things, it sounds contradictory in some ways, right? Like, you would kind of look at it and go, oh, if anyone is working harder, it's because they don't like where they are now. And while that's kind of true, I actually do like who I am now. I am excited that I have accomplished what I've accomplished so far. I am excited that I am growing into the woman that I currently am. This person who is here, that I look at in the mirror, who I hear in my own voice, this current feeling I hold is not negative. It's not bad. It is a lot farther than where I was several years ago, and it's still way behind where I'm hoping to be. But I love that. I love that it's a constant journey, that it's always seeking out for the next thing. And I think that's something that we all kind of do, is we all kind of learn to love the growth, and at the same time accept that we're not going to be growing consistently, constantly, all the time. And if we're not for a second, or not as fast as we wish we are, then that's okay. You like, I am who I am, and I'm so happy for that. And knowing that who I am is going to change. And I love that about it. I love that growth. I love that I know that growth is going to happen. And it may not happen the way I expect. It may not happen how I have planned. It may grow into a way that I would even look at right now and think, oh God, I would hope to God that would never happen. But maybe future Sam is like, yeah, all of the things, it needed to grow that way. If it didn't grow that way, even though I know past me would have hated it, then look at all this amazing thing I would have missed out on. And so when I think of growth, that it's become the contradiction, and settling with it and knowing that maybe there's no real way for me to wrap my head around it, that I can both love exactly where I am right now and also love the growth, seek out the growth consistently. There are certain people that I feel, I don't know, kind of get that contradiction, and they get that you can embody both at the same time, that I can be on a self-love journey and loving who I am right now, but also wanting to constantly seek and improve at the same time. And people who seem to get that, I'm vibing with way better. I am slightly, I guess, irritated or confounded, not even irritated, I say confounded by people who don't, even though I know it's such a hard concept to get. Like people who look at me and go, oh, you're unsatisfied with your life. You're never satisfied. You're always wanting more. You can't learn to sit. And I'm like, no, I'm sitting fine. I love myself right now. This is good. This is great. But there's better over there. And I can build towards better. And it's not that I'm trying to get to better. It's not a race to better. It's the journey to better. It's the constant road. It is the growth itself, that the growing process that makes me feel excited. And I think it's so funny how sometimes we don't take a moment and look at all the steps and at the growth in process. We look at the seed as we plant it, and then we see the flower and we go, oh, look how beautiful that is. Look at that transformation. But we don't see it struggling through the dirt. We don't see the small stem. We barely take notice of the buds right before it blooms. But most everyone suddenly sees the bloom and goes, oh, it changed. Not realizing that entire that whole process, that speed up sometimes you see in a lot of like inspirational videos of the plants growing, of the cycles constantly changing. That to me is what's fascinating. That is what I hope to cultivate within myself, all the growth. I want to focus more on that step-by-step process, on the journey of that, and stop worrying about these markers that I wish to hit to show growth. Instead, it's just that know that I am growing, and know that as long as I am seeking it out, it's going to come, it's going to happen, it's going to be something that I'm going to change. And it's the continued further slowing down, the further allowing of the craziness of life to kind of take over at times, and that's accepted, and it's okay, because maybe you needed that weirdness to grow in a certain way. And I think by slowing down, maybe I can recognize it sooner, as opposed to getting all stressed out and being like, oh, I'm not growing how I want to, or not striving the way I want to. Instead, it's like, no, accepting me for who I am and slowing down even further to see that centimeter, millimeter levels of growth, and appreciating myself for that, for every damn baby step I take in my craft, in my spirituality, in my business, in my career, in my love life, wherever it is, all those baby steps, take more notice of them, because that's really what I'm hoping to do, is to really appreciate every inch of this journey that I'm on. So what do you guys think about growth? Is it a great word for you? Bad word for you? Is it a word you're like, oh God, if someone tells me I need personal growth one more time, I can't. Can't take it no more. Or are you like me and you're like, yeah, I know I can do to slow down. Or are you like, no, I analyze way too much. I need to freaking just get on with life. Anyway, I make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like and subscribe if you guys are all about it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.